Hey everybody, this is Erika Szabo. Welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing a review for a game that I've been wanting to review for a very long time now. And that game is Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair. Now I want to give a big thank you to Nipponichi for sending over a review code for this game. I am so happy to have it in my collection. So I guess let's get right to it. Now, if you remember my review for Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc over here, then you might also remember how enthusiastic I was about the game and how much I loved the mashup of Ace Attorney, Battle Royale, and Persona. Frankly, I find it to be completely genius. I find it to be something that is extremely refreshing and just bizarrely lovable, like extremely bizarre. And I mean, Danganronpa 2 definitely is just as strange, but does it hold up to its predecessor? That's what we're gonna go over today. Now, just a little forewarning here, if you are interested in playing Goodbye Despair, but you haven't played Trigger Happy Havoc, I highly recommend you play Trigger Happy Havoc first, because Goodbye Despair does feature a lot of spoilers, and it's just, I don't want you to be spoiled. That's basically it. I want you to kind of experience this in a fresh way. And Goodbye Despair doesn't really do that. Goodbye Despair basically treats the player as though they've already played its predecessor. So do keep that in mind. So just as in Trigger Happy Havoc, we're introduced to another seemingly normal student, Hajime Hinata, and his acceptance to Hope's Peak Academy. How the hell is this school even open still? This is what I keep asking myself over and over and over again. Seriously. After arriving, he faints, blah 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 blah, but is then transported to a tropical resort with other Ultimate students, so overall fairly similar in scope. Here we're introduced to our new mascot Usami, who, while looks like the lovably evil bear from our last game, Monokuma, is true and pure and everything nice until Monokuma shows up and then things get really dirty, trapping the students on the island. Now, the only way off the island is to commit a murder and get away with it, just like in Trigger Happy. However, if the murderer is found out in the class trial, then they're sentenced to death, and it's always something extremely ridiculous to go along with that particular character and everything else that's ridiculous about this game. Now, if you get the wrong person, then it's game over for you. So it's all about figuring out who the right murderer is, and then having them sentenced to death, and then continuing on with the story, and finding more killers, and you continue on and on and on and on until you find out who the big boss is. So that's basically it, yeah. Overall, the game is put together very similarly to Trigger Happy, having you spend time with students, investigate murders, and find the culprit in the class trials. The relationships you build in Goodbye Despair are a touch deeper this time around, depicting a much grayer side in terms of personal motives, which adds a bit more complexity to many of the characters. I still have my favorites, but I was able to appreciate a lot more of the characters than I did before. Now, that all said, there is definitely a lot more humor in this game. It loves to poke fun at character archetypes, and it does so in a really great, tasteful way, if you want to call it tasteful. The game isn't very tasteful, I guess, but it's humorous, and if you can take it with a grain of salt, it's awesome. And it also loves poking fun at past characters too, much like the loved Byakuya, who is really poked fun at in this one, which I really enjoyed. I mean, honestly, half the time when I was playing, I was just laughing out loud. I could not stop. It was like a total riot. So I really found this to be very refreshing, and it definitely added to it despite the fact that the whole concept is tried and true. The court trials, while overall the same, offer several new game mechanics to further the experience and offer quite a bit more challenge as well. One new feature in particular is consent, or the ability to agree with someone's statements. It works well contextually and really adds to the experience, while court minigames like Rebuttal Showdown and Logical Dive end up serving as more of a distraction from the mystery. While I never really found any of the trials to be extremely frustrating per se, I will say that many of them are much more convoluted in scope. Now, I like the fact that for the majority of the time you don't actually know who the murderer is and you're kept guessing. However, at the same time, I want at least some sort of inkling, just something really small even, to give me an idea considering how lengthy some of these trials actually are. Goodbye Despair has lots more to offer too and knows just how to pique players' interests. At various points you can play an arcade game, watch a film, and even play a room escape puzzle, clearly a tribute to the Zero Escape series. Thank you so much, Chunsoft. Trigger Happy Havoc already offered plenty in New Game Plus with School Mode, but Goodbye Despair really ups the ante. Goodbye Despair definitely has its ups and downs just like Trigger Happy Havoc does. However, it's still really fun, and perhaps is even more fun considering the diverse character roster and the diverse sceneries as well, actually. It's a really great game, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what Spike Chunsoft is going to have in store for us in the future. So if you do like this review, and if you are interested in this series, if you haven't played Trigger Happy Havoc, definitely consider playing that. Or if you have played Trigger Happy, you can be pleasantly surprised in the fact that Goodbye Despair is actually a very good sequel, and I highly, highly recommend you check it out. So I hope you enjoyed my review for Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair. Thanks once again to Nipponichi for sending me a review code for the game, and big thank you to Matthew Meeks over at Patreon for donating the physical copy of the game to me, because I do love having physical copies of games in my collection. If I can avoid downloads, I would absolutely love that very much. But yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed. Please tune in again very soon for many, many more videos. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later, okay? Alright, peace.